24 hours a day, 7 days per week, with a fresh approach. www.999wefm.com. WeFM News, online, on demand.
Good afternoon and welcome to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Hello, Carnival. Nice to see you again. Hey people, this is Ezra the Fun Machine, and I'm calling all revelers, carnivalists, and bacchanalists. Let me tell you, take a loan of $3,000 or more for your costume and pay only $340 per month with God's ready cash. Plus, you get to enter to win your loan back. That's right. Pay $0 down and nothing for the first 30 days. All you need is your ID, proof of address, job letter, pay slip, and 2 references. Visit your nearest Court Already Cash location today or contact your Carnival band for more details. Experience Carnival 2024 with Court's Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Rural Transformation Industry and Labour, Subota Caesar, has provided a breakdown of the 165 medicinal cannabis licenses granted here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. According to the Agriculture Minister, of those 165 licenses granted, 95 were to traditional cultivators, 12 were to traditional cultivator groups, 20 to local cultivator groups, 20 were granted to local companies, and 18 were granted to foreign investor companies. We hear more from Minister Caesar.
So 95 traditional cultivators, 12 traditional cultivator groups, because growing cannabis and growing it at certain standards, it's better if you can obtain the synergies that you will get if you're working together. So 12 groups are formed and we encourage these groups formation. Local cultivators, 20. So a local cultivator is someone who didn't plant weed before. He doesn't qualify as a traditional cultivator. The Vincentian, but is getting into the industry. 20 local companies and 18 foreign investor companies, that the grand total of 165.
That was the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Rural Transformation Industry and Labour, Subota Caesar. According to Minister Caesar, 3 companies have since obtained international certification. The medicinal cannabis bill was passed on December 11, 2018. It paved the way for the medicinal cannabis industry to take shape here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. At a press conference held by the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Calypso Association, the SVGCA, on Tuesday, Calypsonian and Public Relations Officer of the organization, Robert Patches Knight, called on the Carnival Development Corporation, the CDC, to up its game. Mr. Knight spoke of the prizes awarded to Calypsonians in SVG, expressing his displeasure and the displeasure of other Calypsonians, with them voicing his opinion that he believes they should be improved. We hear more from the PRO of the SVG-CA.
I can't say it's a pleasure to be here because things really ain't right. As far as I'm concerned, as a Calypsonian for many, many years and a musician too. So I hope that the CDC will up its game, because this is no joke for people like me. I understand clearly what's happening across the Caribbean and other countries, our neighboring countries. And for instance, prize money and thing has been a vexing issue with us for years.
That was the PRO of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Calypso Association, Robert Patches Knight. The SVGCA's PRO, in his standing up for the nation's Calypsonians, said he refused to sugarcoat the issue, as he highlighted the contributions that Calypsonians make in bringing visitors to the shores of St. Vincent and the Grenadines during the carnival season. Still on the local scene, Prime Minister and Parliamentary Representative for the North Central Windward constituency, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, recently discussed the developmental work that is currently taking place in Georgetown. The Prime Minister made mention of million-dollar projects such as the construction of a state-of-the-art market and extensive internal roadwork that are being executed. We hear more from Prime Minister Gonzalez.
Up in Georgetown, Benava in her ministry, she building a $1.3, $1.4 million market. And then KCCU is building in Georgetown. We sell them a piece of land there, which we have near to where we did the sea defense in Georgetown, to put up a headquarters in the rural areas up in the Northeast. And at the moment, we're doing about $4 million worth roads, internal roads in the back of Georgetown, out of the same $125 million loan which we borrow from the Taiwanese at good rate of interest too.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez. The Prime Minister at the time was speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony for the $3 million multi-use center located in the North Central Windward community of Park Hill. The center, which will be constructed near the Park Hill playing field, is a gift from the government and people of Taiwan through the efforts of that country's ambassador to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Fiona Fan. On to news in the region. As St. Lucia gears up for cricket festivities and the carnival season, the Ministry of Health is issuing its routine reminder to citizens to remain cautious against the spread of sexually transmitted diseases and infections. St. Lucia's Senior Medical Officer Dr. Gail Gachadha has emphasized the importance of taking proper precautions, especially during times of heightened social activities. With more than 1 million sexually transmitted infections being acquired worldwide daily, according to the World Health Organization, Dr. Gajadha says the need for vigilance cannot be overstated. She outlined various modes of transmission for STIs and STDs, emphasizing the intimate nature of the spread. Highlighting common infections like chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, HIV, and hepatitis B and C in St. Lucia, Gajadha stressed the potential risks associated with engaging in unfamiliar or unprotected sexual activities, particularly under the influence of alcohol or drugs. The Barbados Horticultural Society has won gold at the Chelsea Flower Show 2024. The theme for the winning display was Ahoy, Barbados Landship 1864, as Barbados exhibited folklore indigenous to Barbados Landship. In existence now for some 160 years, the legacy, heritage, and story of Landship was told beautifully. Focused around the maypole, which is plaited with the Landship dancers bobbing and weaving in and out, under and over and through visitors, the booth saw the lilies and heliconias heavily featured in this year's arrangement, depicting the gathering at the maypole, the celebration, splendor, and jubilee. The RHS Chelsea Flower Show is an event which draws a global crowd and is the haute couture of the international gardening scene. On the international scene, former Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley has said she plans to vote for Donald Trump, her former opponent and boss, in the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Ms. Haley, who once served as Mr. Trump's United Nations ambassador, was the last of his major rivals to drop out of the party primary contest in early March. At the time, she did not endorse him but urged him to earn the votes of the millions who had supported her. On Wednesday, in her first public remarks since leaving the race, she said Mr. Trump has not been perfect, but that President Joe Biden has been a catastrophe. Anti-Trump Republican voters largely coalesced behind Ms. Haley's presidential bid earlier this year, and her dormant candidacy is still picking up support more than 2 months after she left the race. She won more than 20% of the vote in at least 2 state primary elections over the past fortnight. Finally, in sports, Vincentian cyclists Cami Adams and Zafal Bailey will participate in the 2024 Pan American Cycling Championships on Sunday, May 26th. The 2024 edition of the Pan American Championship will be held in Brazil in the city of São José dos Campos between May 20th and 26th. The coach of the team is Emerson Holder. 32 countries will participate in the 130-mile-long race. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 o'clock for WEFM's 3 p.m. news. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Quartz St. Vincent Limited.
Beckway, get ready! Quartz is back again this Thursday, May 30, under the almond tree, 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. with bigger and crazier deals. No cash, no worries. Choose Ready Finance. Buy now and pay later. Get in on our doorbuster deal with specials on mattresses, rugs, appliances, and so much more. So Beckway, this Thursday, all day. Quartz is back under the almond tree. So come grab a big deal. Quartz, bringing value home.